Welcome everyone to end of May Entropia ANS Investments video. So, what do we got? Okay, the month was good. We had plenty of sales. No, actually, I'm going to take that back. The month was bad. Sales were garbage, but we had plenty of sales, which is a good thing. This shows the resilience in the business. This shows our ability to be able to still cover our dividends plus some gameplay in lower times. Now, look, surprisingly enough, gun prices stayed reasonably up. Amp prices took a bit of a hit but stayed reasonably up. Component prices definitely took a little bit of a hit, and so did mining prices. But we still managed to sell enough stuff in the month to reach our 3,000 pet goal. Now, our payout's only about 2,500 pet in dividends, and we got 4,090 pet here, and we cycled about 32,500 TT through the auction house alone, and we ended up with 4,090 MU. Now, in saying that though, game has been harsh in the crafting department, very harsh. Basically no HOFs, basically intermediate to decent losses every craft for the whole month. So when the game slows down, looks like they slow down and helping out as well. Even though they've still spat out their little bonuses here and there, they've even been a little bit stingy on those. So that makes for a harder month. But in saying all that, we still made the dividend money. Because you guys all agreed to go down to the 15% a year, it has helped out the business immensely, and I thank you. And it is nothing's impossible for us right now. We have got the way ahead paved with all this new expansions and all this new VU updates, and Mindark actually maybe giving a shit about their game, and even Cyrene talking about marketing their planet on the internet. That's just crazy, because you all know that people don't advertise this game anywhere. And this type of talk is real positive for the game. Now, if we can do this on a low month, imagine what we can achieve with more player base and events like gold rushes and migrations and mayhems. You know what I mean? So this is a good sign. So I followed the 3-tiered rule. We went from crafting items, and when those slowed down in sales, we dropped back down to component sales. And when those slow down in sales, we drop down to selling mining goods. Even though we always are selling mining goods, components and items, sometimes I've just got a bank full of items that aren't selling. So then I stop crafting and I start making components and sell them. Once my bank is full of them and they're not selling anymore, I just start selling raw goods, which kicks us through. And we've sold lots of raw mining goods, but we've sold a decent amount of crafted items even in a slow period. I mean, basic sensors went down to 125%. They're up to 143 a month ago. It's like the game follows the crypto market, I swear. But anyway, this is good. I've already started the next month. We already have a little bit of profit there. I've already made a decent amount of sales. So look, everything's good. I'm happy with the way things are going. And in talking about the new 15% a year rule and the ATH/bonus, I strongly recommend that when that does happen, and it will, because at the moment we're sitting at 1.76 million ped cycled in the business in the last 17 months, and they actually have us at 91% return, which is I'm not saying it's good. No. I'm avoiding the good word. I'm just saying that it's a start. It was at 90% last month, 91% this month. And we want that to be 97%. Now, there's only two ways they can give us that. An ATH or a small, more small prizes in between. Or just look after us. Look, at the end of the day, we all know they don't do that. You don't get 2 or 3 good months in a row. It just doesn't happen with this game. So it looks like the only avenue we have is ATH. So if that does happen, I'm going to strongly suggest, before we decide to divvy up the spoils, that we really keep in our mind about what we're trying to achieve with our project here, which is to get all the component gizmos up to QR100. So in the hard times when there's no blueprints on the auction house and there's no materials on the auction house, we can still craft and create. I'm telling you right now, if the player base of this game does explode because of the changes made, and people start swinging towards playing Entropia, and their player base expands with the current situation. I mean, the other day I saw weapon grips, half a page. That's now in slow times. If the player base picks up and people start crafting and shooting more guns, we're going to find ourselves in a really, really short position. We're going to have the ability to craft items and amps and stuff, all this stuff. We're not going to have any material or blueprints to craft them with. So we need to turn ourselves into a self-sustaining factory of spitting out blueprints with high skills, crafting those blueprints, and also sending people out to hunt goods for us, which was, if it gets to the point where there's nothing on the auction house, I'm going to be leaning on a few of you guys that are still playing the game to go out there and get me some stuff. Employment is possible. If the player base expands and shortages start to happen, it's going to be an inevitable part of our business. So that is down the road, and that can happen. That's definitely a possibility. But so with mining, look, we've settled in on mining now. We've churned over 625,000 ped, and look, it swings between 93.25 and 93.5. It doesn't really, even with the tower I got the other day, it just bring it back up to 93.5. It's just like, for something to happen, for mining to be better than that, it would need to be a substantial claim. Like, I'm talking in the over 50,000 material mark to dent the 600,000 ped in percentages. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing though, because we know that now. We know that it swings between that percentage and that percentage, and we don't have to worry about going out in the mining run and coming back with a 50% return. Because of my now acquired skills, thanks to you guys partly, also thanks to myself for previous years, we're in a position now where our volatility in mining is not something we have to be scared of. It's actually fine. It's actually fine. And the game treats us fairly when it comes to mining. So no problem there at all. We don't have to worry about mining. Mining's something that's not something that we don't have to worry about, right? So in saying that, I got a couple of people that did decide to walk the other way after I announced a 15% return a year. And I've also got a couple of people that are willing, that have already pledged to take up some of those spots. But I do have a 5,000 ped shortage to get to where I wanted to get to. So anyone out there, any of you guys, first to contact me, you've got a few days. I can give you to the end of the next week, I suppose, if you see this video late or whatever. And there is a 5,000 ped slot, and first in, best served, basically. I can't wait for anyone. If you really want it, get in there, pledge that money, and then we're back up to where we needed to be. Always remember that we need a ped bankroll to run everything. And at the moment in this slow period, I've got that. It's fine. But there's an amount I picked that I wanted to stay at to keep everything going. And this includes crafting. Look, don't forget, we're always soaking a little bit of ped here and there into gizmo crafting, because that is our long-term goal. We want those blueprints at QR100, and we've given it a good bash. If you have a look here, we've already poured 38,000 ped into gizmos and 8,000 ped into widgets, not to mention all the items that I had to craft to get to the component widget once. There's a hefty amount of money already been chucked at that. We need to keep chucking money at that, because those blueprints aren't going to level themselves. So, but I'm more conservative about it now. There's no throwing thousands of ped. It's 500 ped here, 500 ped there. So that's at the moment for us now, for the business, that's a ped sink. And I'm just being really wary and managing the amount of ped getting poured into that. Whereas when we first started at the beginning of this year, I sort of hammered it a bit too hard. But, we learn. And we go through and we understand what's going on. And you all know the game's about constantly learning one after another. And I've also got a lot of blueprints that I've got already to plow through in my bank. In saying that, though, I still have been buying blueprints off the auction house. Look, sometimes you craft these gizmos and widgets and you just don't get the blueprints you want. And there's a shortage on the auction house. Like this morning, there was no BM33s in the auction house. Not one, not even a blueprint. I had a blueprint with 46 clicks on it. Bang, crafted all the stuff up this morning. Bang, listed 3 on there straight away. Just to make sure they're on the auction house. But this is also what I'm talking about. You know, it might be a slow month, but guys got to understand that there is a shortage in certain things. You know, if we get into the game here and we type in, look, let's see if someone else has filled in the gap. BAMP33, right? Okay. They're the only 3 on the auction house, and guess whose they are? Mine. There's no blueprints. I'm the only person that crafted these. No one's buying them right now because it's the time of day it is, but I'll guarantee you by tomorrow morning, if no cheap ones pop up and the weekend shows up, I've got another 12 of these in the bank, and look at the MU we're selling them for. You know what I mean? And this is just a taste of having high skills to be able to craft these type of amps with really good return. The craft that I done this morning with these 28 clicks, I actually made 10 pet on that craft, you know? And then we got all this markup to add up on top. It's not always that way, you know that. It's not always that way, but I'm saying is that they're very fair with their item crafting, and I've learned to trust it. So this is a good thing. So let's just type in weapon groups, right? I mean, this could be filled because of the new bot thing on Monria at the moment. Okay, now, am I seeing this information on my page right in front of me right now? Did I type something wrong? Let's just type in grips to make sure, right? Grips. Oh, well, what's going on? This is exactly what I was talking about 3 minutes ago. I can't craft any guns. You know why? I have no weapon grips. I do have some in the bank. My wife got me some. She farmed me some. The business bought her a gun to go farm weapon grips with, a Calitrek Mark 1, and she's got an unlimited amp for backup, but I do give her 28 piece because they better efficiency. No weapon grips on the auction house. Why? Why are there none? Did I click something wrong? No, I didn't. There's just none. What about low loss? Low loss should be heaps. Yes, there's plenty of low loss. Plenty of low loss. There's no weapon grips, right? Look at the low loss. The bots of Monria are dropping low loss for almost nothing. I can buy it for almost nothing. I'd never farm them on my own. Let's go heat sinks, right? Heat sinks. Heat sink. Bang. Pages of them. But there's no weapon grips. You know, this is what I'm saying. You could put weapon grips up for 115% right now and probably sell them. But guess what my wife's doing when she gets home from work? She's farming weapon grips. Little does she know, but that's what needs to happen for the business. So look, all I'm saying is there's a lot of positivity in the game right now. We're going to be doing good, and I'm excited. And I should end the video there. I've been ranting on long enough for you guys. But like I said, to cap it all off, there's a 5,000 pet gap. People can fill that. Otherwise, people rolling up. Small people that have a small amount invested are rolling their dividends up and creating wealth that way. That's fine. But there is a 5,000 pet gap. Contact me to fill that, and everything looks good. Let's see how we go with Mayhem. Not Mayhem. Migration starting towards the end of this month. We need to be prepared for it. I've got a good stock of blueprints I've actually slowly been buying on the auction house to, in a way, stock up, in quotation marks, for the migration, which is going to go for a long time. And, you know, a lot of people that usually mine and craft are going to be out shooting Longtooth and Eamons. They're not going to give a fuck about crafting, but you know what we're doing? We might shoot Old Thread for a little bit here and there, but our main purpose here is to try to supply the goods on the market that are needed. So that's what we're going to do. Now, in saying there's no weapon groups, right, let's just go, this is interesting. Okay, so there's still LR45s. That's why there's no weapon groups. Somebody bought them all and crafted all these guns and undercut me to the shithouse. And that's fine, whatever, you know. LR40s, look at this. LR40s, same thing. Undercut me to the shithouse. As you can see, I've got that auction house stocked. Look, if these don't sell, it doesn't matter, because by the time the weekend comes, if the weapon grip shortage continues to happen with all this new bots and stuff, this list will disappear, and it is only 1 page long. You know, it looks like there's a lot of guns there, but 3 or 4 people go and buy a few each. This page dries up real quickly. And look at this, no blueprints. Okay, LR45. Why? See how many blueprints there are. 1 blueprint of LR45. 45 clicks for 60 ped. That price is only going to go up. You know what? We're going to buy that. We're going to buy that because if people can't buy blueprints, they can't make the guns, can they? And this is what I've been doing with gun amps. If there's a blueprint on there, and some of them are selling them real cheap, there's a blueprint on there, I buy it. I accumulate them because when migration comes, we're going to have a stockpile of blueprints, regardless of how much they cost us, and we're going to be pumping out product. So, all good. I'm done. See you in game, and I'll make another video at the end of next month. Happy days.